to Lemoyne College in Syracuse, New York, which is a small Jesuit school there. And I went there for 4 years for physics. And then after that, I went to the University of Maryland in College Park for aerospace engineering. I spent about 7 years there, earning a master's and a PhD there. And then after I finished there, I ended up going to Ford Motor Company to work in their research lab to develop these different safety devices using these special materials. But in the meantime, I had applied to another organization in Virginia. And so I only spent 2 years at Ford Motor Company, and then I was recruited to go work for the Central Intelligence Agency. And I was there for 7.5 years as a research scientist. I was in the Directorate of Intelligence and then the Directorate of Science and Technology. And so while there, although I can practice being a geek in the lab, I was also allowed to get involved in understanding operations. And as an astronaut, one of the big things we need to understand is the technical side, but also how to operate in an operational environment. So because of working at the agency and learning the operational mindset along with the technical side, I decided to apply when a friend of mine said, well, you should think about applying this year. You may be ready. And so I kind of felt like I was ready, and I didn't think I would be selected the first time. So lo and behold, I was selected, and I've been in the astronaut program since August 2009. And since that time, we've done training through November 2011 when my class graduated. And so, and during that time, our work and training involved learning the Russian language, because our group came on board knowing that we wouldn't fly in a shuttle, but we would fly with the Russians. So one of the big components of our training was the Russian. We also had to learn how to do a spacewalk, which is the EVA, or extravehicular activity, if I can get it out in one. As well as robotics, as well as flying the T-38, as well as learning the International Space Station systems on board. So it was a little bit busy. We also did a lot of geology as well. So it was a busy time.
So how long did all of that take?
For the training, we trained from August 2009 until November 2011 was really our graduation. We all finished sometime in September 2011, but our graduation was officially November 2011. So in the meantime, we're all waiting for missions and still training.
So what do you love most about being in the astronaut program?
Well, I mean, it's one of those jobs that it's hard to describe and hard to explain, because we are very, very privileged and blessed to even be a part of the program. But all the things that we get to do on a daily basis. For example, I love to tell friends, well, I'm sorry I have to go scuba dive this morning because I have to prepare to get into the pool to go do a practice EVA on Thursday. So they're like, you spend your day scuba diving and in a pool the whole time. So actually the day before I had to fly to Huntsville in one of the T-38s, and we came back, it took about 3.5 hours to do that. So, being able to fly all the time, being able to do things that I think are fun, like scuba diving and things like that, as a part of your job is priceless. But that's just kind of like the icing on the cake. I think this job kind of trumps every other job I've had, in that it's hard to describe, and it is a dream come true.
Okay, so you all are here at CBC. So can you speak on the connection between NASA and CBC? Well,
you see, the big thing for NASA is that supporting the community and letting people know that about NASA. A lot of people have asked about the shuttle program going away and not really knowing that a new class came in 2009. The class that came in was slated to fly with the Russians, and that's just a temporary kind of fix until we get our own space station, our own shuttle back up and running. So we have the Orion coming up. We also have several commercial vehicles that are going to be tested. So, part of NASA's connection is to let the community know what's going on with NASA, so that, if you hear things about NASA on the news, you kind of have a connection to it and realize that this is an organization for the community. It does a lot to promote NASA, but a lot of the work we do is for the community as well. And in the world, the research that we do is world-class research as well.
As an African American woman, did you face any specific challenges in this field?
No, and see, I have to admit that I'm probably one of those people who ignore a lot of stuff. I don't think that I faced any challenges. I think I challenge myself more than look at what other people are challenging me with. And so my goal is always to be as good as my comrade, as my partner, whoever I'm flying with. And just so that they can count on me to do the mission and I can count on them. So I have to train and be as good as they are, or at least, be to the point where I can support whatever they need and they can help me in whatever I need. So I may have a special talent, they may have a special talent for something, and together we can form a good team in order to do whatever the task is that we have to do on station. So, there are challenges, but I'm one of those people who I look at things that are outside of me as things that will deter me. And instead of letting them, which is their purpose, I try to look the other way and do things that I know I need to get done, and do things in an excellent way, so that my teammates, my classmates, my boss, and everyone can know that they can depend on me to get the job done. So if people always have that question, I'm sure that there are things out there, but I always tell students and other people, the objective of those things are to stop you doing what you're supposed to be doing. So ignore it and keep doing what you need to do. So.
And speaking of students, what can be done to encourage more youth, especially African American youth, to pursue careers in science and technology?
I think I'm encouraging them and meeting them, letting them know that there are several African American astronauts still in the Corps even. And if we can do it, they can do it. And I think encouraging them and giving them the opportunities to do that as well, saying, hey, look, you need to sign up for this internship. If you don't like it, fine, try something else. Keep challenging yourself. Keep moving ahead. I was a kid my parents were not engineers. I have a twin sister. We're the youngest of 7. And if I can make it through all that, they can make it through all that too. So with 7 kids, how much money do you think is left for the last 2? Not a whole lot. So if I can make it through and do all of this stuff and accomplish anything, they can do it too. So that's one of the goals, is try to encourage them and try to let them know that, we understand what they're going through. Here's how you can do it, a little time management, challenge yourself, do things that are hard, don't just do easy things, strive for big things. So that's what I usually do in a speech to most kids. So I've been there and done it, so they have no excuse. That's what I always say.
Is there anything else you would like to add or say?
Well, I have to say that I had lived in this part of the country for over 14 years, and I had never come to this caucus and participated in this event, and I'm ashamed to say that I didn't, but this is a great forum to come visit and to look around and see what's going on and to meet people. In the future, I definitely will come back. This is a great forum.